All right, good morning, Norris Clan. It is I, live from home, paternity leave with the little guy. Here's Landon. Say hi, Landon. Hey. Okay. We're going to go over your directions for your Colonial protest project. So this week in class with Mrs. Mason, and in groups, it's a group project, you guys are going to be doing a Colonial protest, okay? Basically, quick synopsis, you're going to pretend it's the year 1767. You're a resident of Millstone, the colony back then. You've had these unfair British taxes and different laws and decrees passed on you. You are mad and you don't care who knows it. Okay, this is your opportunity to be rebellious and rambunctious and protest the British crown. So you and your group are going to be assigned a particular British act, and they're going to have to create your own colonial protest, right? So I've posted for you today directions. Make sure you read through those. A rubric. Guys, a rubric is just basically a guide to follow to make sure you maximize the amount of points that you can get. I've posted a self-reflection that you'll do at the end. I'll get to that. And then I also posted the groups themselves. So I'm putting you guys into groups of 3 or 4, depending on the class. My disclaimer with that is I'm not asking you guys to be best friends forever or to move in together. We're working on a project for a couple of days, so make it work. And be flexible. Okay, we'll get to that more though. So when you finally get into, or when you guys get into your groups, the first thing that you guys should do is read through the directions, which I'm going to do with you right now. Okay, so that I know that you've at least heard them one time and I can sleep easy at night. Well, kind of. He wakes me up a lot, but that's okay. All right, colonial protest. You have just finished learning about the outcomes of the French and Indian War and the acts passed by the British, which unfairly taxed and hurt the colonists. Now, you and a group of 3 or 4 are going to imagine that you are citizens of the town of Millstone in the year 1767, and you have had these same acts laid against you. You are angry, and you don't care who knows it. Luckily for you, we are going to have a town meeting led by Mayor Mason. I was going to say Mayor Norris, but it's Mayor Mason that's there, where you and your group mates can voice your anger. You and your group will be assigned one of the acts from the list below. You have to understand what the act did by answering a few guided questions, and then you and your group mates will present a protest to this act at our town meeting. Your protest must include a vocal and written part and a visual part. Your protest must have some kind of visual, so like a poster, okay? The visual protest should have 1, the name of the act, when it was created and what it did, and then 2 images to show you're against this act, okay? So your visual or your poster that you're going to make, guys, should have the name of the act, when it was created and what it did, and then 2 clear visuals on that poster showing that you are against your act. You will also need a vocal/written protest, okay? Your visual also needs a slogan for your protest. So when we say slogan, we mean like America runs on Dunkin', McDonald's, I'm loving it, right? Whatever your act is, you need to have a slogan against that act that you guys can come up with in your group. So visual protest, name of the act, when it was created, what it did, 2 images that show you're against this act, and then also some kind of slogan, okay? Then you also need a vocal/written part of your protest. This should be a speech that you're delivering to the town, right, at a town meeting, okay? Your vocal/written protest can also have a chant, a slogan, a motto, a rap, a song, a poem, etc. You be creative, right? You're giving about a 1 to 2 minute speech to the town, and you want to find the most effective way to get them on your side. Okay, so it should have some kind of creative element to it. Like I said, like a chant or a poem or a song or a slogan, something, right? But you are trying to work the town up into a frenzy and support you in protesting this particular act that you have, okay? In your vocal presentation, address the following. What is your group's act? What did it do? Why does it make you so angry? Number 2, present your form of protest to the class at a town hall and your reasoning behind it. Everyone in the group should participate and speak. Everybody should have some kind of speaking role when you give your speech, okay? And the length should be about 2 minutes max. This is a 60-point project grade. You are going to present this in a class on Friday to each other and to Mrs. Mason. You can have your own little mock little town hall there. I'll bring in a camera and have Mrs. Mason record, and then later sometime next week, I'll get the camera back. I'll look at all of them and I'll grade them up, okay? So those are the directions. Now let me just scroll down the page here. When you go into your Colonial protest directions, after you read them, on the second page, you have guided questions that everybody in your group needs to answer to start the project. Okay, there's only 4 of them, but you need to sit down for a good 5-10 minutes and answer them together as a group to get the wheels turning and to make sure that you guys are on the same page. Okay, so it asks you, what is your group's act and what year was it put in place? What did the act do? Why do you think this would have angered colonists? Briefly describe your form of protest. Okay, so you're going to answer those 4 questions together. The first 3 are just making sure you understand the act and what it did. The last one, I want you guys to take some time and think about like what you're going to do. You know, hey, we're going to give some kind of speech and we're going to write a poem at the end. We're going to give a speech and we're going to show our poster and our effigy, right? No matter what you decide to do, guys, you need to have a visual protest, a poster with the things that I outlined, and then a vocal/written protest where everybody says something. Okay, it's 60 points total. You get 10 points just for answering those guided questions. That's the first thing you should do. You get 20 points for your vocal form of protest, 20 points for your visual protest, and then 10 points at the end for self-reflection. So 60 points total. Hey, don't get all wiggly on me over here, okay? Now, I also posted for you guys a rubric, and it shows you guys the different points that you can get for different parts of the project, okay? For the verbal protest, to earn 20 points, it means the best that you can do, okay? Your group explains the act and what it did. The group all has a speaking role. The protest is on topic and discusses and provides a wealth of information on the selected act. The group speaks loud enough for everyone to hear and presents effectively. The protest ranges from about 1 to 2 minutes in length. That's perfect, right? If you do all of those things, guys, when you're working this week, you'll do great on your vocal/verbal protest. For your visual protest is neat, eye-catching, and informative. It gives the audience information on the act and what it did. It sends a clear message that the group is against their selected act. Okay, so if you're doing those things and checking that off, you should earn 20 points in your visual protest. Then you get 10 points for answering the guided questions completely. That should be easy. That's a layup. And then at the very end of the week, when you're done with your guided questions, you've worked on your poster together, you've practiced your speech and chant, you're going to do a self-evaluation, a self-reflection that I have posted for you with the assignment, okay? Where you just assess how you did on the project. Don't get all wiggly and grumpy. Okay? Okay. All right, so that's the last part of the project. Today, guys, step 1 should be getting with your groups. Okay, they're posted, going over what your act is. I would read through the directions together to make sure that we understand exactly what we're doing. I would answer the guided questions together. Everybody type in your answers on the Google Doc, okay? And then honestly, guys, talk with each other about what part of the project you want to work on. Maybe somebody's really good at giving speeches and talking effectively in front of crowds. Them and another person start writing the vocal protest, right? Maybe you put it on a Google Doc and you share it with everybody. Just suggestions, okay? Maybe somebody in the group is very artistic, very artsy, and then another person, they start working on the visual protest. They grab a poster from the back and they start that. In the back of the classroom, there's posters, there's colored pencils, there's crayons, there's markers. There's anything that you would need to get this project done. You can use all of my supplies. Just make sure you put things back neatly at the end of the day. Don't make Mrs. Mason have to remind you to do that or do that for you, because she's not, we're not doing that. So you guys got to clean up your mess, okay? Tomorrow I will post a video of a sample, okay? But today you should really focus on getting in your groups, reading through the directions together, answering the guided questions together. And by the end of the period, you should just be starting to work on your verbal protest or your visual protests. Norris Clan, good luck. Email me if you have any questions. It's pretty straightforward. This is, like I said, you should have so much fun doing this project. This is like the first time or only time your teachers are telling you, like, yes, please, rebel against us, protest against us, be loud, be boisterous, be creative. You guys should have a good time with this project, okay? All right, guys, it is a great day to make it a great day. Miss you guys. I will see you soon. Norris out, Landon out. See you guys later.